Hi guys, Alexander here, and today we're going to take a look at Lark IEM from KBEAR. Hey, I'm Alexander, and this channel is dedicated to honest and comprehensive reviews of headphones, IEMs, decks, amps and microphones. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to my channel and don't forget to click the notification bell. The Lark IEM was provided to me by KBEAR directly in exchange for my honest review. Thank you. So all thoughts and opinions in today's episode are my own. KBEAR was founded in 2014 in Shenzhen by a team who are passionate in hi-fi, and the company is committed to developing products that sound good and at the same time are affordable. KBEAR continues its trend to release great headphones at affordable prices, and Lark IEM is no exception. They are aimed at the budget segment of the market, but at the same time they offer a pretty good combination of qualities for their price. Lark uses one dynamic driver and one balanced armature, and it retails for $30 US. Lark comes in a beautiful pencil case type card box with a headphones picture on the outside. Inside the black stylish box there are headphones, a detachable cable, a storage and carrying case, two sets of silicone ear tips and a manual. Overall, the packaging and number of accessories is really pleasing. Talking about technical specifications, the headphones have two drivers, one dynamic driver and its diameter is 10 mm and one balanced armature driver. The impedance of the headphones is 16 ohms and sensitivity is 105 dB per milliwatt. The package includes two sets of silicone ear tips in three sizes each. White ear tips are softer and gray-black are more dense and rigid. The outer part of the Lark shells is made of metal, while the inner part of the shell is made of plastic. At the same time, the plastic part is transparent, so you can see the insides of the headphone through it, which is kinda cool. The front metal panel also carries a nice honeycomb pattern. It looks quite interesting, and while the overall surface in silver is quite appealing, it also catches the fingerprints very easily. The shell also has a 0.78 mm plug, and if you decide to change the stock cable, make sure the new cable doesn't have any plastic connector covers around the pins, otherwise you won't be able to plug it in. Also, there are two air vents on the inside of the shell, one just above the dynamic driver and one is located a little further back. Given their price point, the Lark also does pretty well in terms of build quality. The length of the detachable cable is 1.2 meters and it has two pin 0.78 mm connectors. My version comes with a microphone, but the version without microphone is also available. The cable ends with a L-shaped 3.5 gold-plated connector. I personally didn't like the cable much because it tangles easily and feels a little bit cheap. Now let's talk about comfort. This is another aspect where Lark excels. The contour of the shells fits my ear well and I didn't experience any unpleasant feelings. They have a smooth surface without any sharp parts and they are very comfortable to wear. The Lark has a very interesting sound signature, and I can say it's more like an inverted L-shaped signature. They have quite a neutral bass and mids, but they start getting very bright from the upper mid to upper treble. I tested these IEMs with several devices. My music sources were PC, Fio X7 Mark II DEP with AM3A amp module and iPhone 6s with and without external DAC. As for the decks, I used Topping D10S, SMSL SU6 and DD Hi-Fi TC35i. As an amplifiers, I used Sheet Magni Heresy and X-Duo MT602. Even though there's a dynamic driver installed here, which should theoretically give low frequencies a good amount shape and depth, it's not completely true. The amount of low frequencies is average and the detail of low frequencies here is average as well. The sub-bass extension is good, but Lark doesn't have any real punch here. In general, I would say that the low frequencies are quite neutral and the mid-bass is slightly overpowering the sub-bass. The mids tend to be neutral with extra presence in the upper region, and because of that they feel lively but also a bit harsh. The mids here are reproduced by a balanced armature driver, and the transition between bass and mids is quite smooth without significant dips, which is really good. But lower mids in my opinion are quite thin and they are lacking weight. Resolution of the instruments is excellent for the price, although sometimes the timbre is a bit off, and this is caused by an overemphasized upper mid range. Overall, due to its details, the mids sound quite rich, however they can be a bit harsh on some tracks. High frequencies on Lark are also boosted. They have a great extension in upper part of the spectrum and there is a lot of air, but in my case it also made this IEM very fatiguing during long listening sessions. This situation also scales with volume increase and sometimes it makes Lark very sharp. On the other hand, the rest of the treble region is good enough to reveal micro details, and given the price point of this IEM, this is really surprising. Soundstage is slightly wider than many IEMs in this price range and it also has enough depth. Instrument separation is above average for this price range, but sometimes instrument separation and details in complex tracks start to suffer due to the tuning of this IEM. The imaging is decent, although instrument placement isn't the most accurate. Let's summarize. Considering the price of this IEM, they are really great because they do almost everything right and offer more than one would expect at this price range. Despite the fact these IEMs have their cons, especially in the high frequency region, their pros still outweigh their cons. Talking about pros, I'd like to mention the excellent build quality, accurate low frequencies, good imaging and a quite wide sound stage for this price range. Switching to cons, due to tuning, this IEM can be fatiguing during long listening sessions, and due to excessive emphasis on the upper range, it sometimes can be tonally inaccurate. If you want to start exploring beyond basic budget IEM offerings on the market, or you want an affordable addition to your current IEM selection, make sure to check Lark IEM from KBEAR. Despite the cons, the value per dollar for these IEMs is excellent, especially if you are not a treble sensitive person. Alright guys, that's all from me for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and see you in the next video. Goodbye!